Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Stormworks Build and Rescue. We are working on our space plane. I added a few modifications to it. Some tests. I set up our vehicle here so we can test that now. Alright. Added some buttons for the landing gear. And the tanks. I was having an issue with the threshold gates. So what I did was I just added buttons for the tanks. And I discovered that the jet engines can get me to about 20,000 altitude before I have to turn on the rockets. So that saves me a ton of fuel because I was using the rockets right away, and I was burning through 2 tanks just to get to basically 20,000 feet. So this airplane has even more fuel to get to the moon and to get off the moon now. So what I just put magnets. I don't even know if they'll work, but we're gonna try. Take off on the taxi lane. So then what I do, we're going up. Turn the stabilizer on, right? We can use the jet engines until about 20,000. So then, oops. There's my landing gear. The green lights are supposed to go off. And yeah, I'll have to fix that there. So that's it. So now I have to be more aware of the fuel because I have to manually switch the tanks instead of the automatic. I don't know what was going on there, but I'll have to build my own microcontroller. I noticed the threshold gates were like so in the game. But if you build a microcontroller and have them inside there, then they seem to be more reliable. I don't know why. So that's probably what I'll have to do. Right, so before, I would have turned on the jet engines, and I would have burnt through almost one full tank just to get to where we are now. And I haven't even turned them on. We're just using the the jets. This will get me, like I say, this will get me to about 20, and then I'll turn on the main rockets. But it saves a ton of fuel, and it costs me basically nothing in jet fuel. Now we're starting to slow down a little bit now. So throttle that back. There we go. Uh-oh. Uh, that's not going to work. Okay, so I thought I had those buttons connected. They are connected. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. So this valve is supposed to open when the contents of this tank get to same with that one. When it gets to 500, it's supposed to open up. So either so that one we want to open up first, and then that one, and then that means this one here opens up this valve here. Like it should be really simple. And then this valve here is this one here. And it opens up when this tank is yeah, that's how I had them connected. Those are the magnets. And then I didn't need the buttons. It was automatic. All right, let's save that. But for some reason, it's deciding not to work. So the threshold seed, the high threshold is set to 500. As soon as that tank gets to 500, it's supposed to open up, but it doesn't want to open up. Now, I was going to make the magnets fold. The theory is, if it's a hard landing, the the legs hopefully can take a little bit more with the magnets than if they're like on. If you saw my first video where I had the legs on the trash can. The legs, yeah, they were ineffective, let's just say that. So if they're fixed to the body, they can handle a little bit of rough and tumbleness. We'll see. But we're at our maximum height, our build height. We're too wide to edit this in the other editor there. But maybe I could take it to the ship editor. But then if it's too tall, I can't launch it here, right? So that's the dilemma. That's the dilemma. I did buy the industrial expansion, so we are going to test to see if I can get the uranium today. That would be really cool. Continue on our career. And I can launch this plane in our career mode. So we'll be trying to do that also. Go to the moon in our career and do some rescue missions. So... I really hope this buggy works. I'm really excited for that, to turn that into something really cool. This thing is going to need an electric generator or something. It does have battery issues with the connectors. They suck back juice so badly. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. The solar panels just don't seem to be cutting it really. See how high we can take it. I'm not worried about fuel. Oh yeah, we're really starting to slow down now. Let's see, 20,000. Yeah, that's about our limit. Now we turn the rocket thrusters on. Turn that off. It should start, it should automatically swap at 500. Oh yeah, those jet engines, they sure suck back the electricity. Look, it's going up now. It should go to this one. But it's not for some reason. So I don't know why. The threshold doesn't want to work. I don't know. And it can't be a piping issue because this is the main, this is the first tank right here. This is the first tank right here. But even when I had it on a manual, it didn't do nothing. It's connected to a battery. So what happens is it opens up and then it allows these 3 tanks to drain. Which connect through here, which connect to the main engines. And then when this tank gets low, this valve opens here and it allows these tanks to drain. And then this one here will allow this valve to open and allows those tanks to drain. And then these tanks here will drain. These are our thruster engines. And then we have 3 tanks here that will drain, plus the landing gear. And then there's oxygen. There's plenty of oxygen for everything. So I just don't know why the Oops. So there's two values, right? There's the tank contents over here. And then there's the tank pressure. So maybe what I need to do is take a dial. And I might have to do it to the tank pressure instead. Here, we'll just put it here. Because I did know, I knew eventually it was probably going to have to be changed. Maybe they updated that. There's many different types of gases inside the tank. So for us, for the tank content to only give us one value of all the values that are in the tank, right? Like when you look at, yeah, it just, to me, it doesn't really, you know. When you query a tank, it shows you many different types of gases in there, right? So I'm sure eventually we'll be able to detect the individual types of gases. All right, so let's try that, see what's going on. So I figured eventually the tank content button is going to be replaced with hopefully like a composite or something that allows a bunch of different channels that we can use to read the different types of gases that are in the tank. But for now we can't do that, right? We just use the tank content. So I'm wondering if the reason my threshold gates are giving me trouble is because of that. So what we're going to do is compare the gas in there with the pressure in the tank. And then we'll try and set the threshold up to the pressure level instead of the gas level. Hopefully that works. And it'll be more reliable because I don't imagine they'll change the pressure value. They could change the other values because there's multiple contents in a tank, but I don't know if they'll change the pressure value. We'll have to wait. I don't want to test it right now. I want to recreate the conditions. Yeah, the landing gear, if it goes in too far, it causes the airplane to spin out of control. So what I did was I hooked up a dial here, which shows you the angle. And I think we can go to 20. Yeah. I mean, we're almost set up. If I could get this working again, we'll be set up. And then we'll be able to reliably get to the moon over and over again, so I can start testing out the rover, which I'm excited about. Hopefully that works. Ooh, this is exciting. Surprisingly easy to fly. I like all the buttons. I'll be changing this with screens here coming up. If I can get this working, I'll replace it all with screens. Right, between 500 and 0. Well, I think doing it this way will be a bit better. So about 10. Nine. See, the threshold should kick off here, but it's not. All right, so let's let's set it to the tank pressure, and we'll set it to 9. See if that works. Like I say, it's a more reliable value as well, because they'll likely never change it, whereas the other one, tank contents, there's multiple gases inside the tank. Unless they add, like I say, unless they add like a composite, which would be cool to the tanks. Let's see. So we'll take this and we'll take that to tank pressure. And then we'll set this to 9. All right. if that works. It flies nice. Needs a bit more paint in here and a couple more screens, and it'll be all right. I really hope this works. I mean, there's a workaround for it. It just means a lot more pipe work, which takes a long time. Then probably what I'll do is I'll set a threshold up to the rocket thrusters on the altimeter. So at 20,000, these will kick on. Yeah, and it'll be even more automatic. It'll be cool. Once I can get this worked out. Should go to this one at at 9 pressure. No, it didn't move. Hmm. It did not move. All right. Well, anyways, this is the what I'm dealing with right now. If I get it resolved, and I'm able to go to the moon, I'll post an update of that. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And we will see you in the next one.